In this problem, we want to find the zeros of the polynomial function. So we got f of x is equal to x to the fifth minus 7x to the fourth plus 19x to the third minus 25x squared plus 16x minus 4. And we're trying to find a zero, so we'll set it equal to 0. So we got x to the fifth minus 7x to the fourth plus 19x to the third minus 25x squared plus 16x minus 4 equal to 0. Now we're going to put our polynomial on y1. So go to y equals clear. We'll do x caret 5. Now if you got one of the newer T84s, it's those in exponent mode, you have to press your right arrow key to get out of it. Minus 7x caret 4 plus 19x to the third minus 25x squared plus 16x minus 4. And if you don't already have it, down arrow to y2, press clear, and put a 0 there. I already had a 0, but... Okay, so now we'll do second trace, choose intersect, number 5. Looks like either 1 or 2, I'm not sure which. We try 1. I'll do inner on first curve, inner on second curve, let me put in 1 for the guess. And tells us x equals 1. Now I think that's it. I think if I put 2 in for the guess, I think we'll get something real close to 1. Let's do second trace, choose intersect. Inner on first curve, inner on second curve, let me put 2 in. I'm lying. X equals 2 is another answer. I didn't see that. So if it comes up above at 1, comes back down at 2, then that means it must come up again. Either that or it's touching at 2, one of the two. So let's just try 3 for the guess. So we'll do second trace, choose intersect, inner, 3. Okay, we'll get 1.0000247. That looks like x equals 1. Sometimes you get answers real close to the actual answer like that, and it's a rounding issue that comes up. Well, let's plug in what we found. First thing I'll do is I'll plug in 1. Now our largest power is x to the fifth, so across the top I'll write x to the fifth, x to the fourth, x to the third, x squared, x, and no x. You have to have 1 for each power going down. We'll write down the numbers that are in front of them. There's a 1 in front of the x to the fifth, negative 7 in front of the x to the fourth, 19 in front of the x to the third, negative 25 in front of the x squared, 16 in front of the x, and negative 4 is our no x or constant term. Now I want to add. 1 plus nothing's 1. Multiply. Always multiply by a number in the box, but number you put down there. 1 times 1 is 1. Add. Negative 7 plus 1 is negative 6. Multiply, number in the box by number we put down here. 1 times negative 6 is negative 6. Add, 19 minus 6 is 13. Multiply, number in the box by number we put down there. 1 times 13 is 13. Add, negative 25 plus 13 is negative 12. Multiply, number in the box by number we put down there. 1 times negative 12 is negative 12. Add, 16 minus 12 is 4. Multiply, number in the box by number we put down there. 1 times 4 is 4. And add, negative 4 plus 4 is 0. Now we get 0 as remainder. That means that we found one of our answers. So x equals 1 is one of our answers. Now that took it from x to the fifth down to x to the fourth. Well, let's plug in our second answer. Plug in 2. So again, I'm going to do it on the line I just found. So I'm going to add. 1 plus nothing's 1. Multiply by number in the box, but number you put down there. 2 times 1 is 2. Add. Negative 6 plus 2 is negative 4. Multiply, number in the box by number we put down there. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Add, 13 minus 8 is 5. Multiply, number in the box by number we put down there. 2 times 5 is 10. Add, negative 12 plus 10 is negative 2. Multiply, 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, and 4 minus 4 gives us 0. So that means that's our second answer. And that took it down to the x to the third. Now our goal is to get it down to the x squared, which we're not quite there yet. Now what that means, if we only found 2 answers via our calculator, one of them repeats. And what you do is you try one of them and see if it gives you zero's remainder. Zero's remainder means you found an answer. Now I think it's 2, based upon the fact that I think this is coming up over the x-axis, coming back down, touching a 2 and going back up. Now I could verify that. If I did zoom and choose zoom in, choose number 2, and then I press enter, it'll zoom in where my cursor was. And boy, I can't really see that, can I? I wouldn't say it's actually doing that. Maybe it's coming down, coming up, touching at 1, come back down, and then going up over 2. Anyway, I'll set my zoom, press my zoom button, and choose 6 for Z standard again. Okay, well, I don't know which one it is. Let's try one of them. I think it's 2, so let me try 1. We're going to see if 1 repeats. Again, we're going to plug in the line we just found. So we'll add, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. It was 1. Or 1 will work anyway. The reason why I know that is, again, we found zero's remainder. That means that x equals 1 is our third answer. Now, this originally went from x fifth to x to the fourth to x to the third. We're now down to x squared. And this is x, and this is no x. So we're left with x squared minus 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. And this actually factors using the PST method. So this is going to factor as x minus 1 times x minus 2 equal to 0. Now, zero factor property says you get 0 on one side, you factor the other side, you're going to set each factor equal to 0. So I'll set x minus 1 equal to 0 and x minus 2 equals 0. And we get x equals 1 and x is equal to 2. So we found 3 answers here, and these are other 2 answers. So that gives us our 5 answers. Because your largest power, again, tells you how many answers you're going to have. So you can have answers repeat, and you just have to plug them in and try. See if you get zero's remainder again. If you get zero's remainder, that means it worked again.